Welcome to today's edition of the Captain's Log. Today is the 9th of December. It's about 5:15 in the evening. It's been a really interesting couple of weeks. Fill everything in. Today it's just going to be a big, giant information update data dump. So, I mentioned on the last episode about being in an accident and hitting a deer. I hit two more deer in about 2.5 weeks worth of time. So the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I was making a delivery down in Iowa and hit a buck on the left front side of my truck and destroyed the whole front end of my truck. So I've been sitting at home since basically that afternoon, that Wednesday afternoon. The accident happened about 2:30 in the morning, and I was not hurt, but my truck was pretty substantially damaged. I was uh, planning on dropping off my truck on that afternoon or that late morning in Marshfield at the truck dealer slash body shop to get the first accident damage fixed, but then hit second deer. I hit a third deer, but it didn't do any damage. It just kind of just bounced off my tire, so no harm there. But the one that I hit the Wednesday before Thanksgiving really messed up the front end of my truck. So I took it into the shop, and I already had approval to do the repairs for the first one. So I had to submit a new claim to the insurance company for the second accident, and the two accidents combined almost $10,000 worth of damage. The first one was about 4,500, and the second one was about 5,500. So when you factor in what the insurance covered, I have to pay $2,000 deductible because it was two separate accidents and they couldn't piggyback them together. Um, so I have to pay that twice. Anyway, so I drove the truck, limped it into the shop, and they gave me a come out and took some pictures. But of course, it was a holiday, so their appraiser slash estimator uh, wasn't home. Wasn't working. They were home because of the holiday, so they weren't going to be back until Monday. So I wound up renting a car, driving Psycho and myself home to my actual home, and uh, got home that about 5 o'clock that evening. Um, then, of course, Thanksgiving came. I didn't go anywhere. I had just came back from California, so I wasn't planning on seeing any family or anything. So then I um, had to wait till Friday to take the rental car back, and of course I took it back, and I had to wait until Monday for the insurance people to come in, and had to go through all that stuff. And the appraiser estimator finally got back to me and gave me the estimate for the new accident. Of course, I submitted that, and um, they started work. Now, at the same time, I was contemplating just wanting them to total out the truck because I only paid 13,000 for the truck itself, and we're talking $10,000 worth of damage. So I'm basically um, uh, paying almost much for the repairs as the truck was worth. I was hoping they just total it out and give me the money. Then I would give that, of course, to the bank, and then whatever the difference was, I'd have to pay, obviously. But um, the shop actually started working on the truck because they had approval from the first accident, and I didn't know that. So um, I was sitting at home, just waiting and waiting and waiting. I've been home for 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks with no income, which sucks. It's nice to have a couple days off here or there, but I don't want 2 weeks in a row off because it just hurts the bank account. But anyway, so I had the Um, the dealership looked into finance options to replace my truck, and the terms aren't really what I was looking for. I was a much newer truck. I mean, about the same amount of miles that mine has, maybe a little less than mine, but it's almost 3 years newer, and it was certified, brand new tires, an APU, all kinds of nice upgrades. But like I said, the terms just weren't what I was really looking for, because I was trying to keep my payments the same or close to the same as what I was paying for um, the first truck. So I decided not to replace my truck. I'm just going to keep my truck as long as I can until it wears out. I did have enough money I had saved up, and I got a check I wasn't expecting, um, because my retirement company that I was with at my previous employer um, sent me the 401k money that I had, and um, they were supposed to wait, and it was going to get sent to a new company, the company I have a different account with. But unfortunately, they jumped the gun and sent me the check. And of course, since they'd already taken out um, uh, the penalty, the 10% penalty plus my taxes on it, because I'm not 59 and a half, uh, I decided that I was just going to take that money since they couldn't undo it. They'd already cut the check, they couldn't undo it, um, and just pay off my truck. And so that's what I did. I cashed that check, and of course, it was a high enough amount that I had to wait for the check to be cleared from the bank, and it finally cleared the bank. And just today, as a matter of fact, I just sent the finance company the payoff for my truck. So on Friday, I am going to be renting a car, driving from my home back to Marshfield, which is where the truck is at, and Psycho and I are going to go back to work. And I'm probably going to have to work pretty hard throughout the rest of the year. Not so much next week, because I already have some plans next week. But the following 2 weeks, Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to try and work as many extra shifts as I can, because they're you know, I need to make up for the revenue I lost. Plus, they're also paying like $500 incentive holiday pay, so that'll go a long way to helping me recover from this financial hit I just took. So I'm gonna be doing that. So that's pretty much the update on my truck issue. I mean, I've been sitting at my house, which is nice. I like sitting at the house, but it's been one of those days where it's just, or one of those things where I've just been so bored of not having any work to do. So what I've been doing in the interim is, I had talked about on the last episode of doing my flight review, and I have accomplished that. That's done. So I'm legal to fly for 2 more years. Every 2 years, you have to do a biannual flight review to be legal to act as pilot in command. So I've done that. I am now legal for the next 2 years. I had to postpone my multi-engine training for a couple of weeks because of the financial hit, and I was scheduled to fly again on on Friday and Saturday of this week, which are my normal days off. But because I've already had 2 weeks off and I haven't had any income, I'm not going to be flying. And thankfully, that there's the plane's out of service. I didn't find out why. I just talked to my instructor. He texted me saying, "Hey, we're gonna have to postpone. The plane's down." So who knows? That could be anything. It could just need something minor, or could need something more serious. So the plane could be down for, they're supposed it's projected to be back up and running next week. So we'll see. But I'm on the waiting list to fly the plane, because they're not sure of, when it's going to be ready to be up and running again. I don't know what's wrong with it, so Hopefully, it's something minor. They just replaced a cylinder in the engine on it, so um, it might be something engine related. It might be something else. I mean, the plane's pretty old. I think it's a '78. I think 1978 Beechcraft Duchess, and it's been used for years and years and years. Training uh, pilots. So, it's pretty tired and it's pretty wore out, and the avionics and stuff are pretty antiquated. So, um, hopefully, it's something minor that they can fix pretty quick. Having said that, I'll probably not fly. I'll probably fly next week if it's ready, and then not fly for the next 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's. And I'm sure my instructor will have, things with his family plans, so he probably won't be doing any instructing. So unfortunately, I might have to take a couple of weeks off from flying, but that's okay. I can use that couple of weeks to recover some of the financial losses. Also, I have been working on building a multimedia home theater room in my basement, and so I spent some of the time I've had this past couple of weeks working on it. I've got all the exterior walls are about 95% complete. I've got a little bit of finish work to do, but unfortunately the knotty pine paneling that I need to finish a job is currently out of stock. So I'm waiting for the store, Home Depot, to replace um, that. I need 6 pieces, and they only have 4. But I don't own a pickup truck myself. I own a little passenger car, and the paneling is 8 foot long, so it won't fit in my car. So I have to rent either a U-Haul truck, little pickup from U-Haul, or use the Home Depot truck. And I was going to use it when I picked up the lumber, but it's a brand new truck and didn't have insurance on it yet, so it wasn't available to rent. So I want to have to rent one from U-Haul. So hopefully, when that lumber comes in, I'll put the order in online, and then they'll go and pull it, obviously, and then I'll just go and pick it up. I need some other things too, some trim pieces and stuff like that. So I don't want to make multiple trips, so I'm just going to wait to order all that once the paneling is back in place. Um, I ran all of the electrical cable a while back, and just to be on the safe side, and I'm not sure if it's code required or not, that the wiring is in a conduit from where it's running from the multimedia room along the basement to the utility breaker panel. So when I originally already ran all the wire, but I didn't put it in conduit. So I got some metal conduit done, and I ran it through the conduit and then secured it all to the basement frame. So that's all done. As soon as probably early January, I'll probably have the electrician come out and replace my breaker panel, because right now I have a really old. It's only 12 breakers in the panel, and it's original. The house was built in 1970 that I own, and I am going to be putting up to 24 breakers. And I'm not going to use all 24 at the current time. I know I'm adding um, three outlets. I'm adding one outlet that's a 20 amp that's going to be running the television, high def television, and an electronic fireplace separate from everything else. And then I'm running another outlet for the actual electronics, the amplifiers and the receivers and all that. And I'm running a separate line for the lights in that room. So those 3 things will have to be added, and I think I'm going to add a couple of extra outlets to the basement. One over by my workbench and probably one more on the other side, just so that I have some more outlets. And I know that I've been planning on replacing my water heater. but I don't want to replace it now because it's still working just fine. But when it does die, and it's only a matter of time, I'm going to replace that with a tankless water heater. And so I think it needs 240 volts to run the tankless water heater. So that will basically take two breakers. Um, so that will be added at a later date. And also, I had when I bought this house, I think the people who owned it before me were elderly, and they had moved the washer dryer up to the dining room, and they were running electric washer dryer, and I'm not a big fan of electric dryers. I just never liked them much. So a couple of years ago, when I had them move them back to the basement where they belong in the laundry area, I had them run a gas line, so now it runs on gas, natural gas, and so I had them put a T block on the gas line, and at some point, I'm going to be replacing my electric range that's in the kitchen with a gas range, so I'll have to have that wiring and gas line done eventually. So that's pretty much what I've been doing to the house. Now here comes the interesting, fun stuff. I like to build models. I've been building models for years and years. I have just finished an F-15 fighter plane that I've been working on for a long time. I didn't really have a lot of time to work on it because of work schedule and other things taking priority. So I just finished that yesterday, or day before yesterday. The day before yesterday, I just finished that. So I finished that on Monday, and I just started my most I don't know if audacious is the right word, uh, ambitious maybe, model project I've ever attempted. It is the Titanic, and that is a 1 to 350 scale, which is very large, and it's very detailed. And the boat itself is over 30 inches long, almost a yard, or maybe, I don't know, 80%, 85% of a meter. So however you use the metric or standard. So it's pretty big. I built one. You can't really see it. It's up here on my bookshelf. I built this one, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe, and it is about a little more than a foot long. I forget what the scale was on this, and it's all right. It didn't turn out exactly as nice as I was hoping it, and you look at the different pieces and you can tell that they don't have any detail to it. This new thing that I'm building is super detailed, and what I'm planning on doing is trying to put as much personal detail into it as I can. Right now it's down. I'm working on getting the hull painted, and I've painted some of the decking, and the hull itself, it came as one unit. I was really surprised. I thought it'd be two separate units because it was so long. It was one separate unit. It came all black. So over the last couple of days, I spent painting it. So I painted the red bottom, and I painted the white top. What I got to paint now is the gold stripe that runs all the way around the boat, right below the white, where the white and the black hull separate. They gave it as a decal, but it's one of those kind of unwieldy decals. They're like 8 inches long, so they're pretty good size, and it's a single strip. And I've never been real good at doing the decals. I just never had a knack for it. I know some people are really good at it. I am not. So instead of doing the decal, I'm actually going to paint it with metallic gold paint. So I have to wait for the white that's currently on there to dry, so that I can remask that and paint it. And then I'm going to spray paint all of the superstructure all the white superstructure that will be going all the way around the boat. So I'm hoping that I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm not in any hurry to do it, basically because my days are going to be kind of limited. So I'll probably work on a little bit at a time. So I'm hoping by summer to have it finished, and I'm hoping that I do a good job. I mean, I love doing it. And sometimes I get frustrated because it doesn't turn out right, or I miss something, or something doesn't glue right, and it looks bad. And I'm hoping that it does okay. I mean, I'm not going to put this in a museum or anything. It's just for my own personal enjoyment. But hopefully it'll work out great. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. So that's pretty much what I've been up to. My first commercial flight lesson, I morphed that into my biannual flight review, and I put up the full flight. And at the end of this video, I'll probably put up maybe one or two of the maneuvers just to keep with my documenting my flight training, and hopefully you'll be able to watch that and understand it. I mean, I had two cameras set up, but the glue on the whatchamacallit, the GoPro camera that I mounted to the ceiling part of the airplane, it didn't hold, probably because it was too cold. So as we were taxiing out to the runway, it fell off. So I've only got just the one view that shot basically above about right here. But so if I'm looking out the airplane, it's mounted like right here, just out of my view. And I don't have a propeller filter to cut out the propeller image. It's one thing when you're flying the twin, it doesn't really see the propellers much because they're on the far sides of the airplane. But this one, it's right in the center. We're flying in a Cessna 172, which is probably the plane I have the most experience in out of all different planes I've flown. That's the one I have the most experience in, and that's one of the reasons why I'm using it for training. I mean, you can do your commercial training in any kind of airplane you want. You have to have a certain amount of hours in a either high performance complex airplane, or you have to have them in a technologically advanced airplane. But because I've already got 10 hours in the Cessna 182 with the retractable gear, that meets that requirement. So I can do the rest of my training in either the 152, the 172, a Piper Warrior, an Archer, or an Arrow. It doesn't matter. The twin, I can do the commercial, but it wouldn't give me a single engine commercial. It only give me a multi-engine commercial. So I'm going to focus on finishing my multi as quickly as I can, and then start training. I need like 19 or 18 more hours, and yeah, that's it. I met all the flight requirements as far as the cross countries and the night landings. I met all of those requirements. So the only thing I need is it's about 18 more hours of flight instruction in preparation for the commercial rating and the written, oral, and the flight test, the check ride. So I'm gonna finish my multi-engine rating, just the multi-engine, and then stop flying the multi-engine, focus on the commercial. And then this coming spring, I'm gonna try and knock out the instrument, and then knock out the commercial single and commercial multi. So I'm hoping by this time, today is the 9th of December, so I'm hoping by roughly this time in 2021, I'll have all of my requirements met. Commercial single, multi-instrument ratings done. Then hopefully I can finish up, since my truck's paid off now, I don't have to worry about making a truck payment, and I can start focusing on my other debts, get all those paid off, and then I don't have to do this anymore, and hopefully I can start flying for a living. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated, and I'll include about maybe one or two of the first commercial flight maneuvers at the end of this video. So on that note, thanks for watching the Captain's Log. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time hopefully I'll have some more information and some more flight video. On that note, have a good day. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the Captain's Log.
Runway 23, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff with the right turn inlet to the north, 3517 Victor.
Okay, rotate quicker and then you climb out. Was it 57, I believe?
55.
55 you climb out at?
I usually give a little bit of extra room. Just because I don't want to come off the ground so slow.
Tower Cessna 73808 is
That's the other
return
one.
Inbound on the VOR 31.
Landed.
Cessna 7308, report 3 mile final runway 31.
Report 3 mile final 31.
VOR approach. All right, brakes are set. Power coming in nice and easy. We got a really new engine. I don't want to break it.
Yeah, exactly. Verify the static RPM should be around 2,000.
Right, just about 2,000. We're full rich. All right, coming off.
Feel the power.
What power?
You're probably trying to shove that thing further into the dash.
There's 40 knots. Airspeed's alive. Instruments are green. 55.
I'd call that clear right about there.
Alright, north those.
Archer
Nice
753,
positive rate.
St. Cloud ground, runway 3 on taxi L4, Alpha cross 7523 at Alpha.
And get those flaps up. No landing gear to worry about this time.
None of that, nope. You can't gear up an airplane if you don't have fixed gear. Me and my instructor almost did that one time in my commercial training.
Didn't you say you almost landed with gear up landing?
5304, Alpha 4 Alpha to runway 31, cross 523 at Alpha.
Because you spend about 10 hours with that stupid gear warning horn blaring, doing all your maneuvers, you get so used to ignoring it that it actually gets dangerous.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that could be a problem.
That's why they teach in a lot of 141 schools that they don't even teach to go to a full stall anymore. They have them recover at the...
Number 590.
That's part of the, that's not the ACS now. You're not required to ride the stall horn. You just ride like about 50 knots, I think.
Yep.
And I'm so used to, when I was doing it, it was, you know, riding that stall warning horn, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Piper 42870, St. Cloud Tower.
see how slow you can get going.
287 Zulu is about 8 miles southeast inbound.
Piper 4287 Zulu, St. Cloud Tower, make straight in runway 3 on report a 3 mile final and verify you have Alpha.
Straight in, 3, report 3 miles.
Is there a window coming open there?
Yeah.
Piper 87 Zulu, do you have ATIS information Alpha?
Information Alpha, copy.
Much late, much sir.
What do you want to do first?
Go ahead, you can do a commercial standard steep turn, so that's 50 degrees.
50 degrees?
Yes, sir. And no hesitation between each turn. You go right into the right-hand turn after the left.
What's that, about 45 there?
Yep.
And
That's about 50 right there, I suppose.
Maybe a tiny bit more.
73808, roger, report departing the hold.
Like that?
Report,
Yeah, that's probably good.
departing the hold, 73808.
You could probably even do a tiny bit more.
And number
That's about 50 right here.
Papa Alpha.
Look outside, that's your sight picture you want to have. You're descending a little bit.
Over the VOR.
A little bit of back pressure ought to do the trick.
After the approach, we're just going to
If it makes it easier, you can always trim the plane too. And then
You have to retrim.
Yeah.
Papa Alpha,
then you roll out 10 degrees early and then roll right into the right-hand turn. Use enough rudder to get over there. Try to stay coordinated throughout the whole thing. There's 50. Beautiful. A little bit more bank here.
78 Alpha Sierra has, 44 Alpha Sierra has the landing traffic in sight.
Navo 144 Alpha Sierra, number 2.
A little bit more power too. You want to add about 100 to 150 RPM once you roll past 30 degrees.
44 Alpha Sierra, sorry.
There you go. It can't be half bad. That was our wake turbulence.
close.
Yep. And full power. So go ahead and give it a whirl.
Alright, so just roll into a 30-degree bank.
Yep.
Trying to stay coordinated here.
And then full power here and start bringing that pitch up. Keep bringing that pitch up. You're going to probably be, I don't know, maybe about 15 degrees pitch up, hopefully. There's your 90-degree point.
90.
You'll have wanted to be at about 15 degrees
So
by there.
pitch up a little higher.
Yeah, it'll be quite a bit higher. And there's a heading of north. I can show you one if you want to get an idea.
Let me try one more.
Okay, go to the heading, or go do a right-hand turn, and that'll help us out. So there you go, full power, and then bring that pitch up.
Turn left at Delta, Delta after to the GA ramp. Have a good day.
Hold it right about, try something like that. I've done all these in an arrow, so we kind of have to figure it out. There's 90, now hold this pitch, and start slowly working out that bank. A little bit more right rudder here. Hold that pitch, we're coming down just a bit. Keep that nose up.
For Alpha Sierra, turn left at Delta, Delta Echo to the GA ramp.
Here's a heading south coming.
To the GA ramp, Navajo 4 Alpha Sierra, thank you.
So we ended at about 70 knots. We could have been steeper on the pitch there, but altogether you're getting it's coming together. So
another lake over there.
That'll do for sure.
All right. So we're just about maneuvering speed, a little high. So just go ahead and
pull that bank to 5, and then start pulling back. A little bit more there. There you go. Perfect. Kind of watch outside too. It helps if you learn to do this while looking outside. Keep pulling. This should be your steepest pitch up. So then just kind of let it do its thing here. You don't want to exceed 30 degrees. So we're coming up on 90 right here. Now the nose is going to slide through the horizon.
Yeah.
I got that traffic out there, so we're good. Now let the nose come down. Relax some of that back pressure. Here's about 135. Now we're going to be looking at about 180. So you're going to want to be at your steepest. There, that actually ended up being just fine. There's 180. Now let's.
A little overshot the 180 a little bit.
Not too bad. You can go right into the right hand one, about 5 degrees. Pull back, do the same thing. So now here we've got too much bank. I think we pulled too far past the 5 degrees before you pitched up. So let's reset ourselves back on south, and we can do one to the right. So there we kind of banked too far back, and now our back pressure is pulling us to the side instead of pulling us up. So if we had too much bank in there to start with.
An airplane below us going the other way.
Yeah, I seen him back there.
Looks like he's right behind us.
He should be no factor. I lost him when we turned, but
I don't see him either. All right, we're on south. We're a little bit fast.
So let's try a right-hand one when we do it, and
watch that and get this. All right, so you said 5 degrees of bank?
Yep, 5 degrees of bank, and then hold it. Pause for half a second when you get to 5, then start pulling up. Keep us coordinated. Let the airplane bank over. There's going to be about your steepest bank, so don't let it go too much more. Let it keep coming. So there we didn't quite get enough. Oh, it's because we are a little bit uncoordinated here, I think, is what happened. It didn't quite let us get over the maneuver. Now here's about 90, we can lower that nose, start looking at a 135 degree angle. So let that nose come down here. And there's a heading of 360, excuse me.